Hello, I'm Peter Bergman. This is my official YouTube channel. I'll be updating you with the latest news, so please subscribe to my channel.
Welcome back to our channel, guys. Today is Tuesday, an absolutely beautiful day outside, but inside my brain, it is a complete and utter storm of chaos. Grab your strongest cup of coffee because we have some massive reality-breaking updates to cover today. Let's get straight into the madness. Okay, I literally cannot believe this. Can we please process this mess together? Because I am sitting here in the pitch black. It is exactly 3:14 a.m. My eyes are practically bleeding from staring at these screens, and I just hit record because my brain is officially melting out of my ears. Might delete this later, but I seriously can't stay silent about this anymore. Please tell me I'm not the only one losing my mind over this. Look, we have survived decades of this show. We have survived the resurrections, the doppelgangers, the corporate hostile takeovers that make zero logical sense. But this is absolute terminal velocity madness. Unbelievable, guys, what's going on here. I will tell you exactly what is going on, and you need to brace yourselves. Jack Abbott, yes, the supposed moral compass of Genoa City, the golden boy patriarch, is setting a literal trap to kidnap Patty Williams. Yes, he is orchestrating a kidnapping. And why? Because he is desperately trying to find the whereabouts of Diane Jenkins, who is currently being held hostage by Dr. Lawrence Markham. Listen to me very carefully. Honestly, I need to pause and just breathe because the sheer audacity of Jack Abbott right now is a total game changer. Patty Williams is not just some random pawn on a chessboard. She is a deeply traumatized, historically unstable legacy character who has been through the absolute ringer. And Jack is weaponizing her vulnerability. Suddenly, the man who preaches about family and protecting loved ones is basically rigging a psychological bear trap for a woman who has spent half her life in psychiatric facilities. Honestly, wait, why are we like this? Why are we cheering for Jack when he is low-key acting like Victor Newman on his worst day? But honestly, I am absolutely obsessed with this dark, unhinged Jack. It is a major flex to just abandon your entire moral code because the love of your life is missing. But wait, is Diane even the love of his life? Honestly, sometimes I think Jack just loves the chase. He loves the drama. If Diane was just sitting at home knitting, he'd probably be bored out of his mind. So basically, he is doing this for his own ego, right? He just wants to be the hero who saves the damsel, even if he has to destroy someone else to do it. Whoa, I've really gone off chasing butterflies into another dimension. Bringing the signal back, let's stick to the script. We are talking about the kidnapping plot and the absolute psychic damage it is inflicting on me as a viewer. Let's do an immersive deep dive into the actual logistics of this trap because it is blowing my mind. Jack isn't just sending a goon to grab Patty. He is meticulously orchestrating a scenario to lure her out. Patty, with all her delusions, her obsession with cats, her tragic broken heart, Jack knows exactly which buttons to push. He is basically dangling the ghosts of her past in front of her to draw her into the open. Suddenly, the trap springs. Imagine the raw frames of this scene. The dim lighting, the betrayal in Patty's eyes when she realizes that Jack, someone she has such a convoluted, dark history with, is the one orchestrating her capture. IT is pure psychological warfare. And I am screaming at my monitor. And why is he doing this? Because of Dr. Lawrence Markham. Look, we need to talk about this doctor. What kind of twisted underground medical horror show is this guy running? He is holding Diane Jenkins captive. Diane, who literally clawed her way back from the dead, who survived being murdered, who manipulated everyone in this town, is now trapped in some clinical nightmare. Basically, Dr. Markham has underestimated the sheer force of nature that is a desperate Jack Abbott. But honestly, Markham is a terrifying antagonist right now. He isn't just holding Diane. He is holding the entire Abbott family's sanity hostage. When Jack finds out exactly what Markham has been doing to Diane, there will not be enough ashes left of that doctor to fill a matchbox. Jack is going to burn the entire clinic to the ground. This is not a drill. This is the most ruthless era of Jack Abbott we have ever witnessed, and I am entirely here for it. Let's break down the history here, because if you are a legacy stan like me, you are feeling the psychic damage of this full circle moment. Jack and Diane have this toxic, inescapable gravity. She faked her death, she let him mourn, she let his family implode, and yet here he is risking federal prison to save her. And who is the collateral damage? Patty, or Fragile Patty. Listen, Patty's history with Jack is legendary. The fact that he is using her now is a brutal callback to every time a man in Genoa City has used Patty's mental illness for their own gain. Honestly, it makes me sick to my stomach. But from a narrative standpoint, it is absolute gold. It is a lethal crunch to the heart of the viewer. We are watching a hero fall from grace to save a villain who reformed by torturing another victim. The moral ambiguity is off the charts. Let's talk about Patty's perspective for a second. Imagine being Patty Williams. You are finally trying to find some semblance of peace. Maybe you are just existing in your own little world, and suddenly the shadows start moving. Jack Abbott, a ghost from a past you have tried to scrub from your brain, is suddenly orchestrating your demise. Basically, Jack is gaslighting her on an industrial scale. He is setting up breadcrumbs that only Patty would follow. Maybe he is using Paul's memory. Maybe he is using her old triggers. Honestly, the cruelty of it is breathtaking. Look, I am all for a grand romantic gesture, but kidnapping a mentally ill woman to interrogate her about a mad scientist, that is a choice. A massive, horrific, undeniably entertaining choice. And what about Dr. Lawrence Markham's facility? I am picturing this sterile, terrifying environment where Diane is being kept. Diane Jenkins, a woman who usually holds all the cards, who always has an escape route, is completely neutralized. Listen, Markham must have some serious leverage or some intense chemical restraints to keep Diane docile. Diane is a fighter. She is a survivor. For her to be held against her will by this doctor means Markham is operating on a level of villainy that we haven't seen in a long time. Suddenly the stakes are not just about love, they are about survival. What is Markham's end game? Is he experimenting on her? Is he trying to extract information? Is he working for someone else? Basically, my brain is spinning a million theories a minute, and none of them end well for anyone involved. Honestly, I need to look at Jack's face in these recent episodes. The bags under his eyes, the frantic energy. He is operating on zero sleep, much like myself right now. He is fueled purely by adrenaline and panic. Wait, why are we like this? Why do we romanticize a man completely losing his grip on reality? Because it is phenomenal television, that's why. Jack is crossing lines he swore he would never cross again. Remember when he was trying to be the Zen Abbott, the patriarch who made rational decisions? Yeah, that guy is dead. He has been replaced by a feral beast who will tear through anyone, even Patty Williams, to get his mate back. It is a major flex for the writers to just obliterate Jack's character development and plunge him back into the mud. I am spiraling through a chaotic feedback loop of transcendent hype and absolute narrative betrayal. On one hand, I am screaming, yes, Jack, destroy everything to save her. On the other hand, I am crying for Patty, screaming at my screen, leave her alone. Hasn't she suffered enough? This is the duality of being a legacy soap fan. We are constantly holding two opposing truths in our minds. We want the drama, but we hate the collateral damage. Honestly, dumping this unedited psychic damage onto you guys is the only way I can survive tonight. I need the digital hive mind to witness my existential collapse right now. Look, if Jack actually goes through with this kidnapping, there is no coming back. He can't just apologize to Patty with a fruit basket. He is committing a major felony. Let's visualize the exact moment the trap closes. Jack is probably monitoring the situation from a dark room, staring at a bank of screens, looking like a total psycho. Suddenly, Patty walks into the frame. She is hesitant, looking around, clutching her purse. She thinks she is meeting someone safe. She thinks she is finding a piece of her past that brings her comfort. And then, bam, the doors lock, the lights shift. Jack steps out of the shadows. The high-octane jump cut from Patty's terrified face to Jack's cold, dead eyes is going to be cinematic history. Basically, he is going to look at her and say, "Where is she, Patty? Where is Markham?" And Patty is going to absolutely shatter. It is going to be devastating. I am literally shaking just thinking about it. Look, what is Billy going to say when he finds out? What is Kyle going to do? Kyle is already a walking stress ball, and now his father is orchestrating a kidnapping to save his mother. Kyle's brain is going to short circuit. Suddenly, the entire Abbott family is going to be implicated in a massive crime. Basically, Jack is dragging his entire legacy into the mud. And honestly, I am low-key obsessed with the potential fallout. Imagine the Newman family's reaction. Victor is probably sitting in his ranch, sipping tequila, laughing his head off because Jack Abbott is finally proving he is just as ruthless as Victor always said he was. Listen, we also need to address the absolute sheer terror of Dr. Lawrence Markham's potential endgame. Why, Diane? Of all the people in Genoa City to abduct and hold in a secret medical facility, why her? Basically, Markham has to know that taking Diane Jenkins is like swallowing a live grenade. She is connected to the Abbotts, the Newmans, and half the corporate power in the state. Suddenly, it hits me, what if Markham isn't working alone? What if this is a massive conspiracy to destabilize Jabot and the Abbott family from the inside out? Honestly, my mind is racing with the possibilities. Look, if Markham is tied to a rival corporate entity, or maybe even a ghost from Diane's incredibly sketchy past in Los Angeles, this entire kidnapping plot is just the tip of the iceberg. Jack isn't just fighting a rogue doctor. He might be fighting an entire shadow organization. And here he is, using Patty Williams as his only compass in this pitch black narrative. It is a total game changer that elevates this from a simple missing persons case to a full-blown psychological thriller. I am completely, utterly, and hopelessly addicted to this storyline. We are witnessing history, people. The total deconstruction of Jack Abbott, the martyrdom of Patty Williams, the torture of Diane Jenkins, and the rise of a new, terrifying threat in Dr. Lawrence Markham. I don't know how we are going to survive the rest of this week's episodes, but I know I am not sleeping until this is resolved. Honestly, I might need to call out of work tomorrow because my real life is currently irrelevant compared to this Genoa City chaos.
I will be updating regularly with the latest news, so please remember to subscribe to my channel to support me.